happy to be back here and doing things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like all of us when you grow up around the game, and it's something that pours back into you, and it's a release from sometimes the everyday challenges of life, and of course being around special people and the people that can lift you up is important as well. So yeah, glad to be back.
Steph, last year I remember asking when you were in Connecticut about January feature on her. I'm doing another one.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Totally different complexion in terms of the roster and what this franchise obviously is doing.
Yeah.
Why is it important for you to make sure she came?
Oh, it was so important. Bree is somebody, and I think I told you this last year too. As soon as I left Indiana and went to Vanderbilt, it was like, Bree, what are you going to do? Right? Are you going to play overseas? Are you going to continue to coach in the off season? I wanted her on my staff, and then I had to wait until she finally retired from playing to get her on staff. She's a great teacher. Her mindset is something that you can't teach in the way that she approaches, every day. She was always a heady player. She's a player's coach, has great relationships with players. She's always been the head of the snake on the defensive end, and it's no different with our defensive philosophy in coaching. And she's the head of the snake for us. And, our entire staff then helps her grow on the offensive end as well. I mean, she's got great experience. She's just a great young coach, and it was really important for me to have her.
How does that confidence between you, Austin, and Brianne kind of help what you need to be away for a game?
It's huge. It's huge. We all see things very similarly, understand expectations. I mean, look, really, Rima, Bree, Austin, and I feel like have been working together for the better part of 10, 12 years. When Rima and Bree played, when I was an assistant coach in Indiana, Austin was a scout team guy for us. It's not just that we've been working together for this year for this group and for the third year for Bree and Austin and I. It goes back a decade plus in seeing the game a certain way and understanding one another's strengths and weaknesses and putting each other in positions just like we would ask our team to be successful. And both of them are going to be great head coaches in our league sooner rather than later, and so it gives me a sense of confidence to know that if I have to be away, that they're going to just continue to put one foot in front of the other and lead our team in the right direction.
I also wanted to ask about DeWanna. Just how is she doing? Is there any timeline for her return?
Yeah, she's doing well. She's doing well. Again, no timeline. I think it's day to day, and for us to just make sure that we're continuing to be supportive of DB in her time away.
Steph, what's it going to take for you guys to get on a roll and string some wins together and get where you probably want to be?
Consistency. Consistency. I think we've shown it in moments. Consistency on both ends of the floor. We've got to make sure. We've been challenged with teams that have been physical with us. We've got to be able to handle that physicality and get into offense. We can't get undisciplined, and whether that means a flurry of turnovers in a row or turnovers and shot selection on the offensive end, and on the defensive end in executing coverage, finishing plays, defending without fouling. It's all about consistency and consistently doing the right thing and playing with multiple levels of effort.
Caitlin, how cool is it to be leading the early All-Star voting tally?
I mean, you're good. I mean, it is what it is. People get so hyped up over that, but that's not why you play the game. I think it's a fun way to get the fans involved and really passionate about All-Star, gets them excited, makes them feel involved. It's a fun aspect to have, but for as a player, that's not the reason you play, and it's really only 50% of the vote. So, but it is cool, and it's also cool for me to see how much love my teammates also get. I think we had 4 in the top 10, so whether who ends up being an All-Star or not, it's still cool to see the type of love that you get from the fans.
Take a step further. I mean, the voting numbers are huge.
Yeah, they are.
Voting for you guys, but just everyone seems to be voting.
Yeah, it seems like it's certainly going to set some sort of record for amount of votes casted compared to last year, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like we're on track for that, which just shows how much engagement we're driving across the league for all different sorts of players and teams. And that's exactly what the league needs, is people excited about that type of stuff and wanting to be involved and feeling like their vote really counts and feeling like they can make an impact on the All-Star game. So it's really exciting to see, and hopefully as we continue to go here year to year to year, it just continues to grow.
Caitlin, last year when you came to Vegas, it was on the second of a back-to-back. That first trip, I had asked you on a Zoom about your mental health.
Yeah.
This year you seem a lot stronger mentally. You seem prepared for it. You seem, you're ready for sort of the questions of this, that. What's flipped, and how did the offseason help you with that? Where are you at with it?
Yeah, well, I think it's just refreshing to get a little time to yourself and to, take a little time away from basketball, get better at things you want to get better at. But more than anything, having a year under your belt of playing in this league and understanding what this takes, I think, brings me a sense of confidence. And, it's a 44-game season. I'm not going to play perfect for 44 games, and I think that's where I really kind of struggled last year at times. I held myself to such a level of perfection every single night that I wasn't really giving myself much grace. And, I didn't play very well at Golden State, and to me, I wasn't defeated after the game. Was I upset of the way my team performed? Absolutely, but that doesn't define our season by any means. I think it's you have to look at it in the best possible manner you can, and I think that's kind of where I've grown the most, is just allowing myself some grace, and knowing not every night is going to be perfect. 2 games prior to our last game, I'd been shooting the ball incredibly well. So it's just statistics, but overall, we need to play a better game. But I think it's just a sense of confidence just having a year under my belt.
You see the relationship you and Steph have built. Could you comment on Brianna in January and just what she, as an assistant, she's I remember talking to Steph last year. She's like another head coach. She
really is, and she's really one of the best. I think the thing I love about her is her intensity. She brings it every single day. She's in drills, she's guarding us, and I think for myself as a point guard, and she understands what defenses are going to try to do to me. She understands what I need to do offensively, so she's really helped me, and just such a strong basketball mind. And when Steph's been gone for a couple games, her and AK, I think, have done a tremendous job of really leading us, and they're 2 people that know exactly what Steph wants and execute that every single day.
So if you've gained, I think, 500,000 followers and such, and your jersey selling out, how cool is that for your?
Yeah, it's cool. It's funny what kind of people are attracted to. I'm just trying to keep the main thing. The main thing is that's basketball, trying to win games, sticking up for my teammates. And that's all part of it. I think all that stuff it's fun and whatnot, but at the end of the day, we need to win some basketball games.
So if I remember last year, after that 2-week training camp, that Nate took you all out of town for the bonding, but everybody commented on the energy that Sophie brought, whether it was Tosh coming in and meeting you or just other people. Have you, now being one of the new ones here, but you're someone who likes to bring the energy, whether we just saw what we saw, but regardless, can you just talk about that?
I think that's just who I am. It's my personality. I'm the glue to it. We kind of have a weird age gap. We have some oldies on the team. We have some young bucks, and I'm kind of the tweener is what they call me. And so it's just trying to make everyone match and make sure we're all just having good vibes, right? The seasons has a bunch of highs and lows, and so just trying to keep a level head on everyone. But I also think that we get to play basketball for a living, and that's super fun. So sometimes you just need a good perspective of hey, we're in the grind right now, and it feels hard, but at the end of the day, we get to dribble a ball for a living, so we got to be grateful for that.
What's it going to take for you guys to get on a roll here and get some wins together?
You know what? I think we just shot ourselves in the foot. I thought we played pretty good in the first half out in San Fran, and then we just empty offensive possessions. We were sloppy defensively. They just outworked us, and that is something that we don't want that in our DNA. And so I think you're going to see some spunk from us. Today was a little quiet, but I think we were just dialed in, right? We have a fun group, we have a goofy group, but sometimes you kind of need to get pissed off a little bit and dial in. I think that's what you saw today.
When you look at the league, though, outside of New York and Minnesota, there have been some shocking losses. Atlanta lost to Washington. Vegas loses last night. How good is this league top to bottom right now when you look at it on a whole?
No, yeah, well, that's what I was going to say is, kind of coming in before anyone played, you thought that some teams weren't going to be as good as they are, but this year, teams are good. And the rookies are tough. The squads that teams have put together, you have to bring your A game every single night or else you're going to get beat. You just saw that when we played San Fran. And so it's a credit to our league. There's a lot of great players who are still not in the league. And so you see the W growing and a bunch of really great athletes. But at the end of the day, you got to win a ball game and come focused every single night.
You played in front of your packed house a few nights back. The other night, the energy in San Francisco. Tomorrow, you're on the Las Vegas Strip. What can the Las Vegas expect from Sophie?
Oh, you know what? I'm just going to be me. I don't go in there trying to predetermine anything. I'm dialed in. I need to focus on hitting my shots, making sure I'm executing the schemes right. I'm not focused on the extracurricular activities. And you know what? During that, it was just part of the game. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And I'm a team player, so it's all good.